Hello and welcome once again. This is Nelson Karanja for Global Oak Media. Today's tutorial is actually more of a revisit to the basics. Sometimes it's the little things that we tend to let slip off, and sometimes they trip us when we have probably an urgent project that we need to pull through. So every so often it helps to recap the basics. Today we want to have a look at tracking in Mocha AE screen replacement. I've got two clips here. One is a HD clip 1920 by 1080, and it is at 30 frames per second. The second one, which actually has the screen which we want to replace, is 4K footage, 3840 by 2160 at 25 frames per second. Now this particular clip has got a very long name. This was gotten from Envato Elements, and I'm going to change this by, I'm going to rename this. I hit the return key, and I'm going to call this, let me just call it Billboard, so that can be a shorter name. This other one is an old one I got from Storyblocks ages ago. I'm going to hit return on that and rename that to the screen insert. There we go. The other thing I want to change here before I start, if you look at, again, as we said, this one is at 25 frames per second. This one is at 30 frames per second. I want to change this one to match the main clip. We do that by right-clicking, interpret footage, main, and here where it says conform to frame rate, we change that to 25, and that takes care of that. I'm going to get the Billboard clip, and I'm going to just drag it into our composition maker. And now we have a composition that has the same settings as our clip, that is 3840 by 2160, which is 4K. I'm going to also bring this one in. I'm going to put it under here, and I'm going to hide it. I'm also going to kill the audio track in this one. I don't know whether it is even there, but let me just kill that one. We don't need it. So as I said, we want to revisit tracking in Mocha AE. Now, there are three ways we can access this. The first one, quick and easy, effect, Boris FX Mocha AE. Okay, we can do that. We can also come to animation, track in Boris FX Mocha. That will do the same. It will add another one if you click twice. Of course, we don't need that. You could also use the FX console from Video Copilot. If you are on the layer that you need, and you tab control space and you type Mocha AE down there, again it will show up. Of course, we don't need these last two. I'm going to undo and be left with just one. Now we're going to just click on the big Mocha button and let it open, and here we are. Let's get rid of that. Now here we are. Now it could be when you land here, maybe your screen will probably look something like this. This is the essential kind of layout. I'm used to the classic one, so I'm going to change that. It doesn't make any difference actually. It's just a matter of preference. So now here we have our clip. If you scrub through, you will realize that it is changing. If you just play it through, you can just observe whether our screen remains visible throughout, and if not, then we will see what we need to do. But we also see it's changing in perspective because of this frame that is external to the screen that we are interested in. So we're going to have to take care of that. Let's take our X sprite tool, this one, and we're just gonna grab the corners here. It doesn't have to be inside, neither does it have to be very accurate. Right click to get out of that. These rounded corners, I need to get rid of them. I need to just have them sharp. Just drag that outwards, and that will take care of that. Now we're going to name our layer. Let's call it screen. Now we also need to show our planar surface. If you click there, we'll see now we have the option of selecting where the region where we actually want to have content that will be inserting in this green space. We may want to be a bit more exact with this one. If you just Control Z, I can get in closer. I can actually just and adjust that one and around, then get the way into the corners. That out, just grab it and come to this other side and do likewise. There we go. Okay, now, like we said, we're gonna need perspective, because if we don't do that, it's going to drift off because of this external frame. It will not be able to know that they are part of the same. All right, so here we are. Let's track forward and see how that goes. We'll get right back once it's done tracking. Okay, here we are. Our tracking is done. If you hit play, you can see it holds on quite well, which is what we were looking for. Okay, no drifting. So our work here is done. So we can either just come here and say save the project, or hit close, and as you exit it will ask you to confirm. Make sure you save. Always probably a good practice to save it here before we click close, and you gotta just click save. It will close and return us back to our After Effects interface. Here we are. Let's open this one. We have our data now in here. So if we come here and we say create data, it will ask us the layer that we want to track data for, and in this case we only have one. Say okay, and then we'll come back to this because we need to adjust a few things on the what we want to put in our screen. Now we have our screen insert here. If I put it back and let me just bring it up so we can see it. You see it's rather small. It's half the composition. This is 1920 by 1080. Now it's a requirement that this insert actually matches the composition, the main composition that we are dealing with. So for us to adjust that, let's actually just pre-compose, and let's move all attributes. We'll just let it remain a screen insert. Click OK. Double click to get into that. We come here and right click, transform, fit to comp, so that you can fill up our entire screen. Now if we go back to our main composition, we come to our billboard. Now here we can select, we want to do the insert here by corner pin, not transform. So we got corner pin and corner pin that supports motion blur. Because our screen is moving, probably we can prepare for that and just hit that. And here we can now select our screen insert composition. And then we hit apply. Apply export. Now it's already there, as you can see. Now if you play that, you'll see it's actually holding, and all that you have to worry about are these green edges on the side, and the fact that now it actually is on top, which is not necessarily what we want. The jitter that you see over here has nothing to do with this. It's the clip, the way it was shot, but also the way my computer handles it. It's not a very powerful graphics card. So ignore that. It should be okay once we render it out. So now what we need to do here, two things. One, we need to have, if we bring it back down, we need to remove this green screen, and we can do that by coming to effect, keying, key light 1.2, and we just do that. Don't have to fine-tune this a lot because the edges, the screen itself is quite well done, the green screen. Okay, so here we are, we've done our replacement. However, we have got our track marks that came from the green screen. If you check that, you still have this. We need to take care of that. We do that by duplicating our billboard layer, and we have one of them underneath so that our screen insert is somewhere in between. Now on this one, I would like to come back to Mocha, and I want to get rid of this tracking data because now we want to use the create AE masks, and I don't need this because it's already taken care of on the layer below, so I can remove all that. Now we come to this and we say create AE masks, and we also need to apply the matte, but we also need to invert that. Now once you do that, that disappears. Now what you are left with is your clean insert, and if you check, it actually holds quite well. The only thing that we probably could do is to just make sure that the edges blend in nicely. We can do that by coming to this particular screen. I like to just create a mask, a rectangular mask all around it, and then we feather it till we start to see that this black edge is creeping in, and you can go to the main composition to see the impact of that on these edges. If it's a bit too much, we can reduce that. All right, now here we are. Okay, there, it's done. We've done our replacement. So that is actually just all I needed to cover today. Nothing really new unless you are new to After Effects, but like I said, sometimes the basics, sometimes the little things are the ones that trip us, so it helps every so often to go back and remind ourselves how we do that. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, this is Nelson Karaja for Global Oak Media. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you again soon on our site. Please subscribe, hit that like button and the notification bell. We really appreciate your support. Thank you for continuing to check our tutorials. Thank you. Wait for me, gotta dial up. Can't call my landline 'cause it's all tied up. Just bike over then.